Welcome to episode 705, TimSweeney, King of Game Developers, 9 Lessons. This is an outline of episode 705, lesson 1 to lesson 5. This is an outline of episode 705, lesson 6 to lesson 9. Lesson 1, high-tech family tradition. His father worked for Defense Mapping Agency. He is the youngest of 3 brothers. His older brother worked for a startup in California and introduced him to IBM PC computer when he was 11 years old. Lesson 2, he's a programming prodigy.
I'm Tim Sweeney. I'm the founder of Epic Games. I've been programming all of my life. I started when I was 9 years old.
Lesson 3, he changed focus and business. His first business was computer consulting. Then he changed to computer gaming.
His home in Maryland in the USA when he was just 20 years old. Tim Sweeney's own company started life under the name Potomac Computer Systems because at the time it had been intended to be a consulting company for business computing.
The artwork myself, and I released the game that way. I just grew the company that way slowly, starting from the very beginning, making the first games myself, working.
Lesson 4, he's a workaholic. He averages 14 hours a day.
I probably spend 13 or 14 hours a day on average programming or thinking about programming. I started Epic back 15 years ago. Gotta have one of these. It turns out that having fast cars is an excellent hobby when you're workaholic because even if you don't have any free time, you can always drive the car to work.
Lesson 5, start small. He founded Epic Games in 1991 from his parents' basement at age 20 with $4,000 in personal savings. Lesson 6, the turning point, Nvidia chips and the GPU revolution.
We've been working with Nvidia really closely since the very beginning. To me, the thing that really changed the course of game development for the industry was the invention of the GPU. With the first Unreal, I was writing software renders. On a Pentium 90, you had about 6 instructions you could execute per pixel to keep up a frame rate of 60 frames a second while rendering the world. The GPU revolution came along and gave us an equivalent amount of silicon, about 100 times more graphics computing performance.
Lesson 7, he's an inventor. His invention is Unreal Engine, a platform for game developers. He owns 4 patents.
That's right. We're opening up Unreal Engine 4 to absolutely everybody. You can subscribe and get complete access to the engine for PC, Mac, iOS, and Android for $19 a month. And if you want to ship a game using Unreal Engine 4, you simply pay Epic 5% of gross revenue.
What was it that made you take this new approach?
Well, the industry has changed a lot over the past few years. From Unreal Engine 1 to Unreal Engine 3, we saw development teams grow from tens of people to hundreds of people, and projects just go purely up in scale for a very long period of time.
Lesson 8, funding other games.
How important is the mega grants to you? The work that you're trying to sort of help and give support to the rest of the industry. Why did you set that up, and what's the purpose of it?
Well, a few years ago we set up Unreal Dev Grants. It was a $5 million fund that would be given out with no strings attached to different projects using Unreal Engine or other tools to help foster projects that we thought had a chance of success but really needed some financial help. And that was a big success. And in the meantime, Fortnite achieved this amazing level of success, and so we grew that into a $100 million fund with Epic Mega Grants. And it goes beyond just the game industry now. It supports games, film and television, enterprise efforts, education, academic projects, and open source efforts like Linux. We've found so many projects really got over the hump of resources required in order to be successful, and so many of these games went on to great success in the last generation. I think we find there are a lot of ingredients you need to succeed with a game, but once you have a great team and a great idea, and you've gotten some momentum, often you just need some funding to get over the hump, and that's what we're aiming to solve.
You mentioned this.
Lesson 9, building a digital ecosystem.
That's the core vision of Epic, right? some people on the outside look at us and say, that's a funny company you got there. You're making games, you're licensing this 3D technology out, you have architects using your stuff, and then you have these online services. Like, what are you guys doing? You're all over the place. But what we're really doing is trying to build up a digital content ecosystem that spans tools for creators and platform for consumers to engage. And I think we're just in the early stages of this whole effort, but we've seen it coming for the last decade or so. And you just see little bits of it here and there. You realize what's coming together is something much bigger than any media that exists now.
Thank you for watching. Please subscribe and leave your questions and comments below. Do you play Fortnite or Epic Games? Wishing everyone peace and prosperity.